Okay, good afternoon. I am Fabrizio Cali from CalìIVDC2010parte1. CalìIVDC2010parte1 is an online game publisher and developer located in Italy. We operate all over Europe and also Russia. Our business is quite simple. We are in the massive online market. We both develop, not so much like we would like to, but we publish the game all over the market. We have begun first in Italy. I think we have the biggest community of online gamers in Italy, around 400,000 gamers in our portal. And since 6 months, we have begun to launch our games also all over Europe. And what I want to share today is our experience doing that. That to say, we launched the first game in Europe, and we are small compared to the other online game publisher, and we try to do innovation, especially in business model. Today we speak both about business model in our market and also about design issue that we have in the MMO. So, I don't know how much you know the MMO scenario, but generally speaking, I think it is in this moment, together with the casual online game market, one of the biggest and is growing very fast each year, except some example like World of Warcraft. But there are things that at the moment around each month are being published around 10 or 20 MMO in the world. Okay, mostly in Korea, but also in Western, there are a lot of MMO published. And for all gamers, because the MMO began with Ultima Online, then there was Dark Age of Camelot. We are speaking about a market of 10 years, around 10 years. All gamers began to play in this scenario in an easy way. You pay a subscription, and it's normal. You pay a subscription, you play how much you want. In the last year, the scenario is changing very fast, especially for the coming of MMO from Korea, but also because they are changing the gamers itself. Many people that are now, and we will analyze that later on, many gamers now they play MMO are really completely different from the players that they began to play MMO in the past. And so they need something different, they want something different, and they think in a different way. So what is changing is that the money spent in the MMO is growing very fast, especially because it's free to spend. When you have a subscription, you have like a roof. You cannot spend more than the subscription fee. When you are in the free to play, you can spend any month, any amount that you want, because there is no limit. What we have done, our first European project is Craft of Gods. Craft of Gods is an MMO that we have done. CalìIVDC has done the design, and the Russian studio has done the development of the game. The game has been developed for 3 years. And 3 years ago, when we began to do the design, to project the game, there was the period of subscription. Everyone wants a subscription. And so all the game was designed for a subscription system. What does it mean for a subscription system? That all the things were made in the game, and there is no need, no pressure on players to pay for something. So the game should be like really balanced. All the design has to think if you have to do a free-to-play or a subscription model. Craft of Gods is an MMO a little different from the others. It's an old-style MMO. We have done a decision, like we have spoken before, to focus on a particular kind of gamer, so we don't want to have all the gamers in our MMO. So we have decided to do an MMO really focused on all gamers. And for this reason, the subscription was perfect, because all gamers want a subscription. The game has been launched in May, after 8 months of beta. 2 periods, one of closed during beginning of the next year, then 4 months of open. And the launch was pretty good, But what happened is that we have launched with the normal system. What I mean is the normal system, we call normal system that you have to buy the client, you can buy digitally or you can have that in the shops, and then you have to pay a subscription. We have done a subscription that is a little lower than the others. The reason is that we are not so big like the others, so players must trust us. So a price that could be interesting could interest them. But what happened at the beginning is that we have a lot of players in our server, and they begin to play, and then we discover that there are two kinds of gamers now that they play MMO. The old style, really old, they're really the core gamers, and they want absolutely the subscription. Then there is a large number of players that they don't want a subscription, not because they don't want to pay. Then I will give you some data that are not written, but data that I collected in the last 3 days, and you discover that there is something crazy, because people, they want to pay free to play, and they pay more than pay the subscription. It's crazy. But the fact is that the players is changing. First, you judge the game in a different way if it's free to play or pay to play. When we launched, and then I will explain how we have done it, when we launched the server that is free to play, we had some players that they written in some forums that we have updated the graphic engine. It's not true, the graphic engine is the same at the beginning. But because it's a free-to-play game, now the criteria in which they judge it is completely different. And so they expect less. I don't know if you, I know that is strange, but this is the way. Like, if you pay for something, you want something that is the best. If you have a free, that is not free really, but they think that it's free, okay, the judgment is completely different. The second fact is that if you think in a logical way, and you say, okay, for instance, many of you has, I don't know if you have some satellite TV or the iPhone or whatever, you pay a subscription for that. But you don't use every moment that thing. If you have Sky and you have a subscription, you don't, in Italy there is Sky, you don't see Sky 24 hours. It's quite impossible. And you never think that you are paying for a subscription, but you don't use all the time that you are paying. On the contrary, in MMO, many players now, they say that they don't want to pay a subscription but because they play, I don't know, 1 day in each week. So they prefer to not to have the subscription because they think that they are wasting money. Because they have a subscription, they don't play every day. Third fact, the kind of gamers that are arriving in our market, and this is also thanks to World of Warcraft, because World of Warcraft collected a large number of players, and many of them were the first MMO in their life, and so are people not used to play MMO, are emotional users. What I mean is that many of us, when we are dealing with entertainment, we don't do the things in a logical way. If you want to buy something, you do that in emotional, you like a thing and you buy it. If you have a subscription, you have to do something logically. To say, okay, the subscription is expiring, so I have to renew it, I have to do the credit card or whatever. On the contrary, in the free-to-play, your purchase is really emotional. We have discovered, this is a data that I think each publisher can say, that if in the late evening there was a big war in which a side had lost or something like that, the number of purchases growing because people, they begin to say, I've lost, and so I want to buy something. And it's something really emotional. So for these facts, what we had some difficulties because there was a lot of players interested in the game, but they don't want to pay. Things that this market changed really a lot in 6 months. And end of last year, there was so many subscription MMO.